G'day everyone and welcome back to the channel. So today we've got a pretty special video. It's my 3-star Professor X soloing the Dani Moonstar Winter of Woe boss. As you would have just seen, he's SIG 84. SIG isn't overly important, but it does help, especially for like the 3-star version. If you have a 6-star or 7-star high rank, it's not going to make a huge difference, it'll just make the fight a little bit quicker. Also, this is no boost, unboosted completely, no power boost or just, champion boost. I do recommend that you chuck on a power back boost if you're doing it with your 6 or 7-star for a bit of fun. Yeah, it'll just give back that power with the special 2 and you can just rinse her down really quickly. So firstly, I just want to talk about the fight itself and the strategy that I used, because this was not a first attempt. I actually had never used Professor X before starting this fight. I saw that you could do it with Professor X, and then I ranked up my 6-star to rank 2 to give it a go. I was like, wow, this seems pretty crazy. Then I realized that those prowess are uncapped and really potent, and you can just keep stacking them up, and I was like, oh, I can't really help myself, can I? So I was like, well, I'm going to go for it. So I ranked up the 3-star, and yeah, just went straight into it. The basic strategy at the start of the fight is to build up to 100 of his charges. I'm not quite sure what they're called, I could check, but there's the charges on the top left, the purple kind of pinky ones. You want to get to 100, and you gain these charges by charging your heavy attack, and also your special 1 when you launch it. If you know, when you fight Professor X, after his special 1 he kind of stands there and channels, it's called. He's just gaining some charges passively, that's what happens there. So yeah, you kind of want to wait a bit after the special 1 and then dash back to refresh your prowess, so to gain a little bit of charges and refresh your prowess. But also you can gain some from the SIG ability, which is pretty helpful. Just SIG 1, you're gaining 1 per second under 75 charges, which is really helpful when you're trying to get up. Anyway, so start of the fight, you want to get 100 charges and get to almost special 3, and then I liked to have her at 0 power. I know that the SIG increases your prowess potency the more power she has, but I always like to bait a special 2, and then after you dex the last bit, hold heavy to gain those last bit of charges to get up to 100. And then as she dashes into you and falters, you can then heavy cancel with the special attack, special 2, and then you'll be in the big buffed up Cerebro mode, whatever it's called, the big pink mode, and then you'll be chilling. If, like me, you don't actually know how Professor X works, so after you heavy cancel into the special 2, you'll then, because this is your first start of the cycle, you won't need to dash back to refresh any prowess, so then you'll just land, and then if she got knocked back by that special 2, you can just start holding heavy and then heavy cancel, and you'll just do that same thing of heavy cancel, heavy cancel into the specials until you're out of power, or until you can't launch another special, or until you are out of that big pink mode, like the timer runs out. If you got power back boost or anything, that'll probably happen. But generally you can use up just all of your power before that happens if you're pretty optimal with it. So after the first cycle, you should hopefully have like maybe 8, 7 to 10 kind of region of prowess. And then you want to, this is just a safe strategy, yeah? Like, there are definitely better strategies for quicker damage, but I just wanted something consistent that I could just work on and just eventually chip her down and build up my prowess. Because if I lost prowess, the whole fight was chalk. So after the cycle, you just want to build to almost 2 bars of power if your prowess aren't expiring. Like, if she's being passive, don't be afraid to chuck a special 1 and then dash back during the channeling to refresh your prowess. Don't be afraid to do that. But if she is being aggressive, you just want to build to almost 2 bars and then launch the special 1 to refresh, and then use that time, like what I'm doing right now on screen. Like, I'm refreshing those prowess, boom, and then I'm at almost 1 bar, and I'm going to hopefully get to special 2 and a bit more, and then start that damage cycle. So yeah, I'm just kind of waiting around for an in, and again, this is all about being patient. I could be quicker, I could be going for flashy backdrafts, but I'm only trying to go for the safest ins possible, because it's going to be such a long fight. The fight's like 20 minutes, like 18 minutes and 24 seconds is the recording. Now, having said that, I did just blunder and charge my heavy attack when she could have thrown a special 2 directly in my face, but don't even worry about it. It's definitely a thing of like, I was taking more risk because she had 90% health left and I'd been here before. Like, I'll flash a little photo up on screen. Just the previous fight, I had her on like 13% and then just choked and got slapped in the face. And 13% at the end of this fight is so short of a time compared to the whole fight duration. Like, at that point, your special 2 might even do 13% if everything crits. So it's pretty safe to say that I was a bit scarred at this point and was, yeah, just slow and steady wins the race. And in that last 20%, because, yeah, the health bar kind of just flies down. But in that last 18-20%, I was just freaking out. You'll see at the end, I don't even go for a full cycle. I'm playing so slow. Just, yeah, I had to get it down. Now, something that I've mentioned in every single solo guide or solo video that I've uploaded for Dani Moonstar is the old dash back light intercept or medium intercept type thing. And that's where you dash back when she's dashing forward or a bit beforehand, and then you either hit her with a light or a medium while she's still in her medium recovery animation, and that gives you the free in, and that's what I've been doing for this whole fight. Now with Professor X, you can do light, but I found that medium was more consistent for the timing that I wanted, because I wanted to do it a bit earlier than later, or sorry, a bit later than earlier, the dash back. I found my good rhythm was to kind of preemptively dash back, and sometimes you'll see that I'll hit in, dash back, and then I'll dash back again, and if she doesn't chase me, that's fine, but if she does chase me, that's when I then medium back in. I'll actually take this chance to follow the gameplay here because I might do that. I'm hoping I will. Yeah, here I'm just gaining charges with the special 1 and refreshing my prowess, and here hopefully I dash back, and no, I'm getting scared here. I'm getting scared and I'm getting punished in the corner. I still had my falter up, so I wasn't too worried, but now it's like I'm in that awkward phase of, do I bait the special 2, which I do end up doing, or do I go for the intercept thing? But here we should go for it. Yeah, here, cool. So I do that double dash back. That was what I liked to do. It does give up a bit of space. That's also so risky what I'm doing there. And then I cut myself off early. I was in complete shambles at the start of this fight. I think I was still shaken from the previous fight. But yeah, thankfully I didn't get punished for it. Now I'm against the wall, dexing a special 2. Thankfully the timing's the same no matter where you are, because it's all projectiles that will go straight to you. There's no like difference in the timing. But yeah, my only goals for this fight was do not lose your prowess. And that's it. It was just the one goal. Don't lose your prowess. Oh, and don't die. Yeah, that one was pretty clear. So here I'm just using the relic to gain a bit of space because I was too cramped up in the corner, and I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to use some special ones, get her back. I just want to reclaim some of this space back. I need a bit of a mental reset here because I was bogged down by her and dashing back and just resetting for ages. I just want to build up a few prowess, feel like I was making more headway into the fight. One thing I will say is that if you do choose to do this, which, you know, who's watching that's going to do this? Why would you ever want to do this? But yeah, if you do choose to do this, it's a great challenge for the Can I Dex Dani Special 2 consistently game. Because I'm willing to say that I can Dex Dani Special 2 consistently. I don't really fear it. I'm super confident now at this point. At the start of the week, I was like, oh, you know, I can Dex it every now and then. But now I'm like, yeah, we're locked in every time. It's the same thing. So there's a bit of a perk if you do want to, you know, go through mental anguish. As a whole, though, I really do love this Dani Moonstar fight. I think it's so well designed. It's like the best Winter of Woe fight that they've had out of the 4, definitely. It's given the whole community 2 skills that not everyone had. Like, you know, some people already knew both of these things, but let's be honest, not many of us knew how to Dex Dani Special 2, and not many of us knew, like, all the applications of the medium thing. Most people know about Domino, because she has such egregiously long medium attack, but yeah, you can use it for so many different champs, so many different scenarios. It's a really handy tool to have in your bloody arsenal. Also, while I'm going off, I want to say I noticed a Professor X glitch. I don't know if it's a glitch, but it feels like a glitch, where if you're coming out of your mind control phase and then you use a special one, like right as you're coming out of it, you will keep channeling until you use another special attack. I don't know if that's intended. I don't know if you Professor X avid players knew that. I'm sure you knew that, but yeah, I just didn't know that was a thing. I haven't really seen it talked about, but to be fair, I don't use Professor X much. The reason I bring that up is because sometimes it can be a bit of a prick of a thing where you come out of your special 1 and want to refresh your prowess, but you actually can't because you're channeling for an eternity, so you have to kind of speed run your way to a bar of power so that you can quickly refresh and then move on with your life. But yeah, something I found out that was like, it was a bit weird. Anyway, jumping back into the kind of live type gameplay-ish commentary thing that I'm doing here with this kind of free flow is, at this point I'm at 37 prowess, I'm at 100 cerebros, and I'm like, what should I do, bait out special or just launch special 1? And I do bait out the special. It was right, once it got to a quarter left, I'm just throw a special at all costs because I don't want to risk losing them. As you can see, that was fairly close, and then I just dashed in rather than charging heavy to gain a bit of distance because I felt pretty pushed against the wall. And then yeah, just those few specials gets me up to 40, and then the fight continues as is. Once you get to that kind of 40 to 50 prowess range, that's when you know the fight's starting to wrap up, because yeah, I'd been here before in this kind of 40 to 50 range, and that's when it starts to get a bit serious. So the safety precautions start to creep in, despite the fact that she's, you know, still at 60% health. I'm like, the end is near. I can see the end now. I've done a lot of ramping. We're getting there, and again, it's slow ramping. I just want to say it again, slow ramping just to make sure it's safe. It would just be terrible if you were to like get really ramped up and then get a bit impatient and then get clipped and lose everything and lose like 20 minutes of a fight. That'd be terrible. So yeah, I was just trying to avoid that, because if that happened, I'd be pretty upset. Righto everyone, well, I've pretty much run out of things to say here. I could just keep commentating the fight, but I don't really see the point. I might just wrap it up. I do encourage you to skip ahead and check out the ending. Just watch my sheer panic as I'm getting really close. I'll chuck a timestamp up to about when it's, you know, pretty much curtains, but the issue is there's no big burst at the end, no big like cycle where I take off, you know, 13%, 20%. It's kind of just, I'm panicking and slowballing the fight to make sure that I don't mess up and die. If you are going to keep watching, I appreciate it, but yeah, I will resume commentary back at that timestamp, 16:33. hello to everyone who made it to the end of the fight. I really appreciate it if you've made it this far. Yeah, we're pretty much wrapping up. This is where, again, the anxiety really cramps up to the max. I'm baiting the special 2. It's like, oh, if I mess up this deck, it's all over. Thankfully, I have the confidence in myself to not mess that one up. But yeah, I'm just then charging the heavy, getting that max charges, spamming the special 1s, getting the prowess refresh. I've only got 3 special 1s to launch here, but I'm like, you know what? I don't even need to connect them all. I'm still just focused on staying back and ramping up this prowess. I don't want to change a single thing from the start of the fight. Again, I could be dashing in and using those, but yeah, at this point in the fight, I'm just not into it. So here I'm using my special 1 to refresh my prowess, but then I tab block and don't dash back, and I'm like, oh my god, I've ruined everything. But thankfully I still have heaps of prowess time left, but now I have to use another prowess to another special 1 to refresh my prowess. So that's what I'm doing here, and then I'll dash back to actually refresh it, because again, I'm not risking anything here. Okay, I'm like, I gotta bait out 1 more special 2, and then we should be near done the fight, if not completely done the fight. That was my exact thought process here, I remember it vividly. I was like, okay, 1 more special 2, and then we're done here, we're done with the fight. But thankfully, I managed to push her to a 2nd special 2, I'm pretty sure, and so I have to bait another one, but then I'm questioning whether I bait it out or just go for the damage combo. That should happen. I just go for it. Yeah. I'm not doing that. So I just chuck it and we get the kill. So yeah, all done. 3-star Professor X solo. Thank you for watching, everyone. I really appreciate it. Drop me a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.